So maybe you think that designer handbags are out of your price range or out of reach. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can get your hands on some Louis Vuitton for under $1,000, and in some cases under $500. And I have a few of those bags that you can pick up. So stick around and I'll tell you more. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about treating yourself to a little bit of luxury, whether that be your cup of coffee, your favorite fragrance, jewelry, skincare, or a designer handbag. And I love to find cheap designer handbags. And I'm not talking about, you know, Coach or Dooney or the contemporary design. I'm talking about, you know, Louis Vuitton, Saint Laurent, the brands that we all really want, and finding them at the best possible deal out there. And it's like a sport to me. I find it's just so much fun to go hunting out there for bargains, and I've been able to over the years find quite a few at really good prices. Now granted, prices have skyrocketed, so I know this is not an easy endeavor, but I did my little googling this morning and did some searches, and there's still some pretty decent deals. Some of these items have been in this ballpark price range since I started, you know, looking at bags and buying things years ago, and that's a good thing. And I think it's helpful to have people get kind of a touch of what we're all in love with. So I'm going to focus specifically on Louis Vuitton handbags, which it's definitely an interesting market. So unfortunately, there are a lot of counterfeits out there, so you have to be really careful and do your research and get things authenticated the best you can. I'm going to focus mostly on buying from Fashionphile, because that seems to be the most, at the moment, reputable resale platform. I have, however, bought from others, and if I show you any examples of what I have, I did not buy most of them from Fashionphile. I have a few, but most of mine have been purchased from places like Rebag or RealReal, eBay, what have you. So lots of other platforms out there, and people might think they aren't as reputable as them, but mine are authentic, have been verified, and I'm comfortable with what I have. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to grab my little list here. So I will, if I have a bag, I will grab it. If I don't, I will just insert pictures of what I'm talking about. But there are a lot of options out there if you're looking for a Louis Vuitton item. The one caveat I'm going to tell you is Monogram, or the canvas out there. The canvas, oddly, for something in very good condition, they're still going to be a little bit up there, but you can still find things under $1,000. But the kind of go-to for under $1,000 is finding things that are in epi, Vernis, and things that weren't as popular, some mahinas that weren't as popular in leathers. But for the most part, you're going to look and you're going to see that most of these items are of a particular genre of leathers, or a grade of quality that aren't top notch. So just caveat right there. But if you aren't as much of a particular stickler on things, or are willing to rehab or find beauty in things that are a little bit less than perfect, this is the video for you. So all of these items are way under $1,000. Some of them are under 500, and that's at the time of this filming. This is this is Labor Day weekend of 2023. So these were what I popped up on Fashionphile as of right now. And I'm going to start up with Speedys. So Speedys, oddly, you can still find a lot under $1,000. And if you're looking for the more $500 range, and some is in the $350 to $500 range, you're going to find those mostly in the epi leather. Lots of blues, reds, yellow, green, the kind of late 90s, early 2000s, some black, some neutrals are out there, but for the most part, everything in that price range under $500 or around $500 is going to be in that kind of bright color. You might get lucky and find yourself one in these fabrics. This is a mini lin, and I paid $350 for mine. If I find one, I will link. And so that one, the caveat with this is they get damaged very easily. In fact, mine has damage right there. You can see that there's a little bit of where when they repair it, they just sew it closed, which, you know, it is what it is. At least it can repair it. So, in Speedys, under $1,000. I paid under $1,000 for this one. I think it was $750 for my Azure Speedy. You can find Monogram ones for sub $1,000. When you get to under $750, you're gonna look at serious Vachetta staining. This one's not too bad. It's darkening. It's got a little bit of water spots, but the Monogram especially, you're gonna see a lot like this Alma is quite damaged, and the handles are horrible. That's why they're covered in bandos. So that's likely where you're going to see the Speedys be in that price range. So the next one that's incredibly cheap, it's a staple across all the platforms out there, is the St. Jacques. That one, without fail, will be $500 or less. Some of them are a little bit higher, and that's usually when they're pristine. I mean, practically brand new, and that's pretty rare. But if you'll see a lot of versions of it, different sizes of it, but the $500 range in epi leather is just beyond common. So St. Jacques is very common to see. I don't particularly care for that bag myself because the straps just don't do it for me. Just my opinion, but it's definitely a very popular bag that's been around. Okay, third, Noés. So Noés are very common in this price range under $1,000, especially again in the epi leathers. So in fact, I should have dug it out. My black Noé is way up high on a top shelf. I paid $395 for it on the Real. I have a GM. No, I'm sorry. I have a PM version of that one, petite, and that was $395. I have a GM monogram that I paid just about $700 for about 2 years ago. So I have two sizes of the Noé. The Noé monogram is not as easy to find under $1,000. When you find it, you're going to find it similar to this condition with the water spots and damage. Mine does have that damage. I will link my video about that up above, but you can still find it for under $1,000. I honestly think it's better to buy the Noé pre-loved, because when you buy it brand new, especially the monogram with Vachetta, there's so much Vachetta on there. It's just, unless you're getting the one with the treated Vachetta, I think that's the BB, or the Nano, the really small one. That's just too much heartache. It's too much to care for. So I personally prefer the pre-loved one, and have been really happy with mine. So definitely can find them. And so the Epi Noé that I was finding on Fashionphile, found several for $350 up to $600 for the Epis. The monograms start at $600 and go up from there. And then we get into the Vernis, and I don't have anything Vernis in bags, but there are so many different, and these are all the different models. They have the Wilshire Totes, the Reeds, Breas, Houston. I know there's more than that, and those, you can find so many out there in the 500 or less range. The caveat with them is they'll be sticky, they'll have marks. Most of them are usually in a lighter color that have color transfer on them, so you want to look for the darker tones in Vernis. The Vachetta is usually not in the best shape out there either, but they are definitely nice sub $500 bags. And I think Ed Braun that does some really great rehab job on some of his that he's purchased. He's recolored them, and they look fabulous. So definitely, if you're into a leather, that's an option, but tread carefully. They're really beautiful, but they can be a little bit problematic. Next one, the Alma. So back on this one again. These $500 is usually the starting point for them in about this condition, and then up to $700, $800 for around this range. And you can go up higher than that, but once you get to about the $1,000, you want to look for pretty decent condition. Then I'd start looking at, getting a maybe a BB full price. I'm actually considering a BB in the damier event. So personally, I think go ahead and get a Preloved one in kind of a rough shape, and you'll be happy. Another one that you can get in Monogram is the Dovell. That's very popular. It's a square shaped bag. Not quite my style, but you can find, there's a lot of inventory out there starting at about $580 up to $1,000. Once you get to about $1,000, they're in pretty good condition. So if you like the style, that's definitely one to check out. And then the last one on my list, I don't have this one, but I'm considering it, is the Cabas. And there are 3 sizes: piano, mezzo, and alto. I think the alto is more my style, just because I like bigger bags. But the only reason why I'm not sure is because I have the bucket bag and I don't use it as much. This one seems to be a little bit more roomy and a little bit more just the shape I might like, but I'm kind of hesitant. But these again start around the $500 mark. They have a little bit more vachetta on the bottom than I like. It's similar to a Noe, so a lot of watermarks, a lot of staining, so you might not be pleased with that, but you can find really great deals on that particular bag. And then all of these, a lot of people have luck on eBay as well, but Fashionphile is where I'm finding all of these deals right now. So if those are interesting to you, definitely check them out. I'll put links to all of the ones I have found down below, but they pop up all the time, and you can always find something that you can follow, see what the price drops on there, get a coupon if you feel like going to another platform. I haven't had a problem on some of the other ones, but a lot of people have had problems on other platforms out there. Another bag I got that's discontinued. The Epi bags, there's lots of different brands or lots of different models out there you can get. I have a Madeline, and I have this one. I can't remember what this one's called. I have a video for it. I'll put it up above. This one that was in great shape, got at a consignment shop for $500. I just think that Epi is the most underrated leather that they have, and you can find so many great deals on it. I have a Noe in this color, the Madeline in this color, this one. And I have some accessories, some SLGs, I have a accessoire, I have a wallet. I think Epi, you just can't go wrong with it. So if you're gonna dabble, try an Epi bag. You're gonna fall down the rabbit hole really quickly. So if this was helpful, please let me know down below. I'm thinking about doing a couple other videos with other brands to see what we can find in that sub $1,000 mark, because I think we all deserve to have a little bit of luxury in our life. So thank you for joining me. Talk to you soon. Take care.